seat, please.
All right, we're back on. Defendants present, represented by counsel. We are still with Travis McMichael. We ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Greg McMichael. We're
Yes,
ready.
Your Honor.
Mr. Bryan.
We are, but I would note for the record that my understanding is the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Has graced us with his presence in the public gallery this afternoon. The third. I'm sorry. The third. Martin Luther King the third. Doing Martin Luther King the third. Yeah.
Apparently, the state somewhere does not look like he's in the gallery now, so that I think the state's wanting. The state has its back to the public gallery, so I imagine they wouldn't know. But all right, thank you. Anything from the state then?
And I think just wanted to note that juror 12 was wide awake and paying lots and lots of attention this afternoon to the case.
Sure. Number 12 has been engaged, and I've been watching her. She has moved, it looks like permanently, closer to the bailiff on her own volition, and that seems to be working. All right, let's go get the panel.
All rise for the jury. Please seated.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to proceed with the case from Travis McMichael.
Your Honor, on behalf of Travis McMichael, we rest.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Greg McMichael.
Your Honor, on behalf of Greg McMichael, we rest.
On behalf of Mr. Bryan.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Bryan, we've discussed this with the state. Rather than being compelled to republish the night owl porch video, still picture of Mr. Bryan's residence, republished night owl 2 video with the trucks, and rather than publishing this excerpts from the state exhibits of investigator Officer Minshew and Detective Lowry, the state has agreed that we don't need to republish those today since we went through that yesterday. Reserve the right to do that during closing statements.
I assume that's been discussed with the state.
It has, Your Honor.
With that understanding, we rest.
Anything in rebuttal from the state?
No, Your Honor, nothing in rebuttal.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what that means is that all of the evidence that will be presented in this case has been presented. So let me tell you how we're going to proceed from here. There are matters that the court's going to need to address. That's going to take a little bit of time. We are going to go ahead and adjourn until Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Okay? So you are not going to be required to be in court tomorrow, but you are going to be required to be here at 9 o'clock Monday morning. Now, over this period of time, again, I'm going to repeat these instructions, which hopefully you're thinking about even in your sleep. Do not discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anybody else. Don't let anybody discuss the case with you. Don't go looking for any information about the case. If anybody is talking about the case in your presence of hearing, you need to walk away. And if anybody is approaching you about the case and wanting to talk to you or trying to talk to you about it, you need to make sure you walk away and contact the court so that we can get that matter addressed. Again, if you have social media, don't go looking at your social media accounts. Don't go picking up newspapers. Don't be flipping through stations and get caught on a station that's talking about the case. Don't do any of that. And I understand I've said those instructions a number of times, and you've heard them before, and I see I've got a lot of nodding heads, so everybody understands the importance of those instructions. So again, we will reconvene Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I think the way we're moving right now, that will be for closing arguments or closing statements by counsel, and we'll proceed with the case at that time. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your attention here in the Superior Court of Glenn County, and we'll see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Right. Thank you.
All rise for adjourned.
Let's go ahead and perfect the record. Any motions or other matters for the court with the evidence being in?
None from the state. I will go ahead and make sure all the evidence is organized and put appropriately together.
From Travis McMichael.
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we would just renew the motion for directed verdict of acquittal we made at the end of the state's case. Same arguments, I won't repeat any of them here, but I want to adopt all of them and apply them here at the end of the evidence.
If I remember correctly, that motion was made on behalf of both McMichael defendants.
Yeah,
So I understand it's being adopted by both McMichael defendants. Mr. Bryan. All right.
Your Honor, we renew our motion for directed verdict, and we also, I think, we joined in the McMichael motion, so we join in renewing theirs as well.
For the record, then, those motions having been made, the court denies those motions as presented, but they've been perfected from the record, or into the record. Anything from the state before we recess?
No, Your Honor.
From the from Travis McMichael,
No, Your Honor.
from Greg McMichael,
No, Your Honor.
from Mr. Bryan.
No, Your Honor.
Before we break, if you could give Sam a good email address so that we can forward to you the court's proposed charge, as I indicated that I would. So if you could do that before you leave, that would be appreciated. Let's plan on giving everybody an extra hour tomorrow morning to go and do whatever you want to do for an hour. So let's plan on 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we'll plan a charge conference at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, thank you.